Hello and welcome to another session of Apocalypse Keys, which apparently is shipping out to people. I've seen people on the community have gotten their copies. I'm very excited by this. I'm very excited by the prospect of it. It would be great if I could have a nice physical copy in my hands before I'm done running the series. That would be delightful. We will see. It may be because we did splurge and get the one with everything. That may be that's the reason we haven't gotten ours yet. But we are here. We are starting the fourth mystery. We're going to talk about what that mystery is here in a bit. We're going to do our meta check-in with our characters on new moves, start a session, picks for XP, and all of that kind of thing. We are, by the way, for Puckett and I, an hour off, which I had forgotten from the usual time. So we were about an hour later. So we may end a tiny bit earlier today just because of that. We have a fourth player who is not here this week, but will be here next week. I believe that next week we will also be starting an hour later because it's not until the 26th that the Brits and Europeans and other civilized people move to the correct, apparently, daylight savings time. This boggles me every year, and yet it occurs. So let us go through and look at our characters. Look at what's going on. Lissa, so we're doing the downtime back. You're going to have a little more time back home, so you may clear any of your conditions that you wish to clear. You may keep one if you wish. If you want to have one that's hanging on, you feel free to do that as well. So Puckett, you said you bought a couple new moves. Do you want to tell us about those?
Oh, sure. Spoiler alert, I think all of them generate ruin.
Okay.
So scrolling way the heck down. There's my anointed one, um, that I need to identify, and yeah. So yeah, I get to corrupt somebody, so that'll be fun.
Okay.
Then there is Let Sleeping Gods Lie. I suspect that somewhere in my memories lies the truth. I was once a terrible and vengeful cosmic being, destroyer of souls and worlds, before the heroic forced me into slumber. What I am now is just a dream come to life, while the real me continues to sleep, yearning for a new age of destruction. I had to create a doomsday clock and name it The Dream Ends. When it ends, when I fill it, I wake up and regain my true and cosmic form, and whatever the current mystery is set aside, because I become the next harbinger of the apocalypse.
And just to be clear, these are thematic because we are not going to get through these clocks. It's just in terms of practical play, you understand, for a single mystery. But I do like the idea that we can
We have
play
what,
that
three
out.
sessions left?
Yes.
Okay. Um, yeah, I'm gonna work at it.
Okay.
Then the next ruin move I took
Yeah.
is the
And,
quarter.
and I do want to say also, this is that's definitely going to be stuff where we do want to check in with other players
Yes,
on
yes.
that. Okay.
Um,
And then the other one.
the corridor of doors.
Oh.
Division
Oh.
trusted me long enough that they gave me a secret and let me know where the ancient doors of power are. I can allow the harbinger within me to access them and unlock one of 7 doors. And I can either mark one ruin or I can mark two. I can control it with precision and it'll obey me for a time before returning to the corridor. Or I mark one ruin and, well, things can get broken.
Okay.
And then for the XP advance, I took a new Power of Darkness, Angelic Fury, and Beauty.
And what does that one do?
It's just the Power of Darkness.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's just, I mean, I think Silver Surfer, but now an angel.
Okay.
If you read the Ultimate Galactus trilogy, probably like that.
Oh, okay. Uh, all right. Let us come then to Egther. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Let me check in one more thing. You've got some start of session.
I do.
Uh,
Devil's advocate and hands around your heart.
okay, let's resolve those.
Um, Andish, are you willing to let Egther be Lys's heart once again?
Sure, if you'll have me.
You know, given all the stuff you've been doing lately, that might become a question sooner rather than later. But for right now, absolutely, because, like I said at the end of last session, I'll fall before you do. I wasn't kidding. And then the other one is, let me scroll down here. There's a whole lot of scrolling with this because of all these moves. The Devil's Advocate. I have a special relationship with a mentor, someone ancient and terrifying who wears human skin. They tell me what I need to know as long as I prove I am worth their care and interest. At the start of each session, reflect on a moment with my mentor, spend darkness tokens, and roll.
So, we know your mentor is some form of Gazamak. We've seen another version of that in several forms. So, what is it you want to do with that? What do you want to meditate on here?
I was having coffee with this aspect of Gazamak. And this is back when I was still in college, and I didn't quite, like, there were strange things starting to happen, and he was taking an interest in me. And he started coaching me about how to use these things, how to wield them for what he told me was good at the time. And I have a sneaking suspicion that's what put me on Division's radar and got me into Division in the first place, because the things that he was suggesting that I do with it were not, in fact, good. I didn't know about the doors then. Now I do.
How many tokens do you want to spend for that?
Let me see how many tokens I have. I have 4. You know what? Let's see what the outcomes are here. I am going to. I'll spend 3.
Okay,
Just
sounds
for fun.
reasonable.
I'm losing money if I don't, right?
Yes.
All right. So dice time.
Okay. And John says he thinks the dice roller might be back up.
Okay, so that is 11 on the dice plus 3 darkness tokens is 14.
That is a lot of numbers there. So flashback to a moment when your mentor expressed their disappointment. So what is it you want from above?
Now I'm scrolling back to it. Let's see. Well, we don't have a current mystery going on. I'll go ahead and mark XP.
Okay.
And I will bargain with the Harbinger within me to gain power and mark 1 will.
Okay. What do you think your mentor was disappointed with you about? Like, what is it that they said that actually got to you, that mattered, rather than them just berating you, but something that meant that what they said hit?
Like a lot of my professors in college, they told me I wasn't living up to my potential.
Oh, I like that.
They were disappointed because I wasn't using my power to its full extent.
And what do you want as your start of session XP?
Let's scroll back over. I think I got to let go and cause collateral damage.
Okay. Let's come to Egther. Egther, do you have any start of session? You're muted.
I don't think so. I need to check because the moves have been coming in.
Hot and heavy.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But
Did you get any new moves?
Sorry?
Did you get any new moves?
Yeah, I just found one. One of the found moves, actually. That was because I had a hard time finding something, and then I looked at this one, and it just clicked. It was just me for a long time. You spent many years alone before you were found by the division. You have learned the wisdom of solitude, the strength in loneliness. Unlike other PCs, you may create a bond with yourself. When you choose the wisdom of solitude, tell everyone how you spend time alone, what you do, how is it calming, fruitful, or insightful. Gain one bond with yourself. You may spend these bonds with yourself as well.
Yeah. And I think you'll start, because you're taking that move, go ahead and mark in at least one bond right at the start.
Cool.
What do you want for your XP pick?
I have chosen, did you share a story of your people and what you lost?
Okay. Excellent. Surreal.
Yeah, sorry. I picked up both a ruin move and an XP move. I've taken the division move, Fey Liaison. Division formed an uneasy alliance with one of the royal courts of the Fey, and you were assigned to work with a liaison. They are now invested in your fate, for better or for worse. When you take this move, answer at least one of the following questions. Who is this Fey, and why do they love you? How did they permanently complicate your life in a misguided attempt to help you? How did they help you understand what the darkness demands of you? It's on row 148.
I see it. So what do you want to talk about? What do you want for your question that you answer there?
I think that I would like this. Who is the Fae and why do they love you? I think it's Titania, Queen of Summer. And I think, hang on. I think she loves me because she appreciates the fact I struggle to tell the truth. I think that's where I'll go with for the moment. I might need to think a bit more
Sure.
about that, but there we go. Put that next there. And how did they help you understand what the darkness demands of you? Like all the Fae, Titania has a profound understanding of human weakness. And that's why it suddenly became clear to me that what the darkness demanded of me was to create churches in my name.
I like it.
And the other one is I was very interested in that one, but that's gone. So get rid of that. Hang on a sec. There we go. And I've gone for, where's it gone? A ruin move, my own ruin move, desire dressed as faith. You know very well that worship comes from desire, selfish and cruel. When you touch a being, you imbue them with an uncontrollable desire for someone or something. Choose. Mark one ruin, they will do nothing else but work towards making that desire real and true, though they will be aware that it is false and that you did this to them. The same desire will burn within you. When the desire fades, their heart will be left with a permanent void. They will attempt to fill that void by worshipping you in strange ways. Mark 2 ruin. The desire will become permanent for both of you, and they will spread that desire in others. In addition, gain one bond with what the darkness demands of you.
Okay. It's interesting to see. I've been listening to Robert McKee, and he talks about character, and he talks about charge and characters moving from negative to positive and so on. So it's very interesting to me when I'm listening to the dynamics of the characters here. What do you want for your XP trigger question?
Yes, sorry, I knew there was another question coming. I'd forgotten about it. I think, are we having a debrief today?
Oh, yes.
Did you secretly betray someone you love?
Okay. That is as good a elision, a switch, a shift as we can do here, to back in the colder climes of Northern Europe, of your arrival back. There is like once the helicopter from the ship lands, and then you're taken down to base, there will be some people who will come and take Iceling off, and your handler, Miss Bariska, will say to you, Suriel, as you know, she's a relatively novice agent. So for those people, we take them right away to counseling to check in with them. We'll have her back out in the field with you soon, but we just want to go over and make sure everything's okay. And she'll say, why don't you join me down in the meeting room and we'll have a chat, Suriel.
Certainly, Miss Bariska. Very happy to.
And you will head down there. She's there. There is a shadow in the corner. She'll sit down. She'll say, I had the strangest experience, Suriel. While you were gone, I had this echoing feeling like you were still here.
Really?
It was very, very strange thing. We are still working on the Gazamax situation. There is a chance that they are involved with this next mission we'll be sending you on in a little while. We will see.
You know that I would very much welcome, Miss Bariska, any opportunity to confront Gazamak directly.
Absolutely.
He's made this personal in a way that, across time, we have managed to avoid.
Very personal on a lot of levels. So, things seem to have gone successfully on the mission. I've read the reports. Suriel, did you throw anyone under the bus?
I didn't.
Okay.
But you may consider what I'm about to do to be just that.
Okay. So it seems like things went fairly well. There's a note here about some ill coordination in with Egther and Iceling. It looks like the rift wasn't completely shut, but you were able to determine what had happened and stop the Harbinger.
Yes, but I have to say, when you look at this, and I slide a key drive across, this is the AV from Mysterious, which you will see from this that Egther was not only reckless, but also an incredibly bad example for a new agent in the form of Aisling. He's on the edge, Brisket. That, you know, he's walking the very sharp, bleeding edge, and seems incapable of following orders. I you'll see from this, I repeatedly reminded him of what was the prime directive on this mission, was do not confront one of the monsters from the rift. And yet even though he didn't have to, he was there technically. He was outside the base technically to observe with Ailing. He just threw himself at it. Now, okay, we managed to grab it, get hold of it, and keep things together. But this is getting to be a significant issue.
Why do you think he did that?
I think he's losing it. I mean, have you seen the physical changes in him?
Losing it is a general thing. That
okay, I'll tell you exactly what I think.
Know that there are sources, there are reasons, there are things that push people towards things. What do you think has pushed him in this direction? Was it the incident in Barcelona, or is it something else?
I think Barcelona was the start of it. And I think that's like a slow fuse. And we saw, a spark at Mysterious. And sooner or later, that spark's going to reach the powder keg. Because, he is changing, I would suggest to you, out of all recognition. He looks different. He behaves differently. I'm not entirely certain the relationship with Lissa is entirely healthy. Sometimes it feels like she can calm him down, but other times he just, he's getting more and more like that effing wolf.
So let me ask you this, Surreal. I recall at the start of this most recent round of team missions, you had something of the same concerns and reactions to Lissa, and yet you turned that around. What is it about Egther that makes it so that you're incapable of turning that around?
I didn't say incapable.
Oh, okay.
What I have to say is that I think that I don't know if anyone can hang on to him. When he moves against, I mean, check the video. This, and I guess at this point it's playing on a large screen. Right. I mean, that is not rational monster hunting. And that's warfare. And I appreciate sometimes we have to do difficult things, dangerous things, and sometimes it takes a very big stick to put some of these things back in the box. But look, you see him there. He impaled himself on a this thing.
Here's the thing I'm seeing here from watching the video and having read the report. Rather than being a danger to you, it seems like he's trying to destroy himself.
Well, that may be true.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's going to struggle to destroy himself without taking a large number of us with him. And okay, I have ways to defend myself. So does Lissa. So does Ailing. But most of the people on the island don't.
Let me ask you this. What would you like to have happen?
I think it's time to think about some restraints. Physical or psychological, I don't know. But the guy needs to get a grip on it. Because the power is loose right now.
Yes, the power is loose.
And look, I love the guy. He's not a bad monster, but he is behaving badly. I feel I have a lot in common with him. We've both been around a long time, one way and another.
And you say that you don't think this is something that you can handle on your own.
What I'm saying to you is that if this goes horribly pear-shaped, I don't want to be the guy on the carpet.
Interesting. Okay, I think that's fair. I'll make a note of that. I think that's absolutely fair for this. Let's consider this next mission an exploratory mission, a mission that kind of helps us assess and judge. What about Lissa?
I have to say, I think Lissa, on occasion, I mean, I sometimes think she treats the cosmic power like it's a big toy. So I still have worries about her mature use of that.
Mm-hmm.
There's still a pocket universe in one of their briefing rooms.
Yeah, we have sent a technician to deal with that.
And it was kind of for effect.
You think she's acting out? Is there something concerning her, or is it just teenage, late teens? I mean, what do you think?
She's always acting.
All right. I think that's a fair assessment. Well, in any case, seems like things. Oh, there was one more thing I wanted to ask you. Why don't you tell me about investing the Halamar pilots with those weapons of light and sound? Why you chose to do that without checking with Mysterious or checking with us? It seems somewhat unusual.
I am not going to have mortals go into battle on behalf of the human race ill-equipped.
On behalf of the human race. Let me pause there. And not on your behalf.
Well, I mean, I suppose that because I gave it to them, they were grateful. But Bariska, I'm not having Barcelona happen again. Okay? I'm not going to leave these people at the mercy of things like Gazamak. I have a responsibility to them that I wish to fulfill, and that's written into your constitution. That's what division's for.
Division is here to keep monsters from ascending. And she looks at you very seriously. Of all kinds. Thank you, Cyril. I think we're done here.
I'm absolutely, with you on that. Always a pleasure, man.
Lissa. You will be called in, and she'll kind of go over. Is there anything particular, any message you want to get across to Bariska in this meeting?
We should be having more fun. I think part of the reason why we're having some of the team challenges that we're running into is because we don't bond enough as a team. We don't go out and hit a pub and knock pints back until we can't walk. We don't communicate with the kind of honesty that we need to be a successful team. I mean, I always feel like Suriel has an angle. I don't know Aisling that well yet, at least not who she is now. And Egther, I think Egther needs to blow off some steam.
You don't think the work and the effort that he put into the destruction of those monsters was blowing off steam?
In a way, yes. I mean, Egther's had some challenges that the rest of us haven't had to face lately. And when you have challenges and you can't resolve them, well, you know what happens when you basically set water to boiling and you put a lid on it and then you seal that lid? Sooner or later, it's gonna pop off. And that's if the entire thing doesn't blow. So yeah, I think Egther needs a chance to relax a bit. I don't know. Maybe there's a spare mountain around here that we can like let him loose on with his hammer or something like that.
So you're thinking some other form of destruction as a means of providing an escape valve.
I'm thinking about physical exertion. I know when I've been depressed or when I've been frustrated about something or whatever, if I can get myself out of bed to go do something that is going to elevate my heart rate, get blood flowing, I usually feel a little bit better.
Let me ask you a question. You mentioned about team dynamics and interaction and things like that. What have you done to support, encourage, and develop those dynamics?
Well, Aisling and I had quite a frank chat about the team, about the dynamic within it. And I think we both came away from that feeling like we were closer together. Egther and I talk quite frequently. And honestly, he's my best friend.
And yet he's in what Surreal is described as a death spiral.
I don't think he's in a death spiral. I think that I still don't know quite what happened in Barcelona. I don't know why he did what he did, but I don't think this is a death spiral. I mean, Surreal thinks everything is a death spiral, quite frankly. I mean, don't you remember when I was trying to get my powers under control and the whole thing with oh God, what's that angel's name? The one whose wings I broke?
Oramel?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Surreal thought I was in a death spiral. So I think Surreal tends to catastrophic thinking, where everything is the worst possible case at every moment. There's always something that's going to be the end of us all. And oh God, we have to do something about it right now. You know,
This is interesting. This has given me a lot of food for thought.
Also,
yes.
So I don't know if you heard about this yet, but as part of a demonstration of practical physics, I wound up creating.
Yes, I know. I have a technician taking care of that right now.
Well, it's important to consider the reason that I didn't take care of it is because it's a universe just like ours, but on a much, much smaller scale. It is a universe that, quite frankly, could be used to power a facility like this without harming its inhabitants.
That method of empowerment has been attempted before. There are problems with that. Trust us that we are not going to destroy this universe, but we are not going to exploit it otherwise. That has gone wrong before.
For my part, I will try not to leave pocket universes floating around places.
Just don't. No, seriously, just don't. Each one of those is a potential door of power. understand that.
Thank you for that feedback. And I'll smile.
He takes out a red pen after you're gone and makes a few notes in your file.
I'm not surprised.
Egther, Miss Bariska has called you in for your debrief.
Mm-hmm.
So, Egther, you are incredibly useful to us. You are incredibly effective. We want and need you to assist us in protecting humanity. So that's what we want. What is it that you want?
I think Egther is kind of lounging in this probably a bit oversized chair they got for him. And I think he's actually smiling, just a small little smile playing on his lips, but he's very relaxed. Yes, I know you've had use for me here, but I'm starting to think that our time together is coming to an end.
You want to stand down? Do you want to be decommissioned?
If that's how you want to put it, I have a new purpose.
And what is that purpose, Egther?
To the extent that it concerns you, I have recently found a way to a resting place for many of my people. I believe the best service I could do would be to watch over that place.
You go there to end yourself, or you're going there to protect it, or what would be your goal there?
End myself? No, my people deserve someone to watch over them, over their memories, over perhaps the final place that could be called ours.
That seems fair. That seems like a good self-assessment. Do one last job for us, and we'll provide you what aid you need to get set up.
Very well. That sounds equitable.
Yep. Just
And I
picture
don't
yourself
know
as 1 week from retirement.
I believe among your people this is considered an ill omen, but
I don't think among your people it is, though. It seems to me that you are a survivor.
retirement is a human concept. And I don't know where you...
So Suriel thinks you're going to destroy everyone and get everyone killed. Do you think that's the case?
No, not any longer. I was perhaps on that path, but the finding this place and the events on the island have cleared my mind, I believe. And Suriel, well, Suriel is very bitter. He's bitter because he's forced to walk next to a god while the best he can do himself is to the best he can aspire to is to be a priest to his own dead godhead, and I don't think it's sitting well with him.
Well, I was saying maybe you should talk to Surreal, but I think that's probably something I don't want to have you say to him.
As you wish. I don't think he's considering how easily how easy his relationship with falsehoods are. You may be right. The truth may be too much for him.
You have been with us for decades. You have done your service. You have assisted us. If what you wish is to stand to protect the legacy and memory of your people, then we will help you with that. And I hope that this next mission will go well so that everybody is on the same page.
Yes, I shall do my very best to follow protocol.
Very well. You are dismissed, Egther. Thank you. Surreal. What scene do you want to call? Who do you want to talk to? What do you want to do?
I want to visit the Black Museum.
Okay.
Because way back when, I pointed out that the Black Museum has some items in it that relate to previous obstacles to my several attempts to get back to my appropriate position in the celestial world. And I need to make sure that those items don't cause a problem again.
Okay.
So I'd like to shape a scene where there's an accident in the Black Museum, because there's the failed god section of the Black Museum,
Okay.
where some things are to be found that, as far as I know right now, nobody knows could be the key to stop my appropriate ascension. And so those items need to have an accident.
Okay. So it seems to me like we are doing power through darkness
I think so.
to change the situation up significantly here.
Agreed. And I think the way at this, I can't do we have an NPC who's associated with that Black Museum? We've got the head of
No,
holy
we
weapons,
don't.
haven't we?
Because the Monsignor St. Vincent is sort of the holy relics, and George Sandal is sort of a generalist occult person. So give me a name for the person who's from the Black Museum.
Let's call him codename Agamemnon.
I'm going to spell that very, very badly. Then
Painfully
badly.
None of us will know that.
Yes. So Agamemnon is in charge of the Black Museum, and tell me one of these things that is here that you will see.
Yeah. There's I think it is a let's see where we put this. Okay. So I think there's a Polynesian carving, and this carving is a protection against gods like me, and it could be harnessed to destroy me.
Gods like you, meaning you and Gazimak and such.
Well, gods like me, but I don't think it could destroy us all. It might be useful destroying Gazimak, but I'm more concerned about it not destroying me.
Okay. How many tokens do you want to spend?
That's an interesting question. I'm not sure I've got many. I've got 2. Okay. Oh, hang on. I think, did you say we'd lost our conditions?
You may keep one
Okay,
if you want to
then
keep one
I've got
condition.
that one. Okay. I think that my response in the debrief was appropriately arrogant.
Yeah, I think so.
So I'm going to take 4
Okay.
for that, giving me a total of 6, and I'm going to spend 3 of them.
Okay.
2d6 plus 3. Hang on, there is. Yeah, the way I'd like to come at this, I think, is, am I unleashing the dark or power through?
I think that here you are powering through darkness.
Okay. Then yeah, that's fine. I'll roll 2d6 plus 3.
Okay.
That is a 10. 7
That
plus
is
3.
10. So you will cause an accident. And are you more interested in making sure all of it is destroyed that's here, or making sure that no one knows it was you?
That's an interesting question. I think that I'll trust to my ability to lie to anyone's face with complete conviction to be able to convince them that even though they thought it was me, actually it was that kid at the end of that school party. Because I think we know that occasionally I grandstand on Lissa's tours.
Okay.
And, take photographs with school children that can go on to
Oh yeah, because you're a popular
social media
influencer. Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
Take the kid aside and say, don't worry, Dad, I won't tell anyone it was your fault.
All right. Let me come to Lissa.
Just before you finish, so
yes.
I'm good. Given that fictional positioning, I will now mark ruin and mark the next step on my route to ascension, which is destroy the one weapon that can kill me.
Okay.
So I owe you a response to that.
Okay.
But you can come back to that anytime you like.
I will. Lissa.
I'm assuming Briska's had her meetings for the day and filed all the paperwork she needs to file and such. That night in my quarters, I didn't exactly like being told not to create more universes. So I'm going to use one of my new ruin moves.
Okay.
Let sleeping gods lie. I'm going to mark 2 ruin and tick the dream ends twice to wield the cosmic dreams of terror like the sharpest weapon. And I want to infect Miss Briska with horrifying hallucinations and bring to life one of her nightmares.
What row is that on?
Oh, that's way the hell down there. It is Sleeping Gods Lie is on row 242.
Are you killing her?
No, I want her to live. I just
then
basically I don't want her to sleep again.
Line that.
Okay.
We have torture by the PCs.
Okay.
Marked
fair.
as a line, so that kind of crosses where my line on that.
Okay.
Do you want to take another tactic with that?
Oh. Alan, would you be okay with me giving Surreal some nightmares?
Yeah, well, actually, it could be quite useful given that I've learned to harness the power of dreams and nightmares. So yeah, let loose.
Are you okay with that, Lowell?
Yeah, that seems fair. That's
okay.
a PC to PC thing. So that feels thing.
Okay.
So then we reach into that. You mark the two ruin
And the two
and
dream ends clock.
okay. And so Alan, Lissa will come and will infect your dreams with nightmares.
And I feel like this is being vicious.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I'll take 4 darkness tokens for that.
Sure. Uh, and it doesn't seem like there's anything about it being subtle. So I do think that Cyril, Lissa does this. What is the nightmare that you have, like the one that actually hits you before you can harness it?
It is, of course, the death in Barcelona. Over and over and over again, every time, just getting closer. And it's like playing out that scenario with different responses, none of which work.
Yeah.
So, not going for Lane, but going for Gazamak, and that doesn't work. And then, going further back into that mission and, convincing Lane to go somewhere else. And yet, then it turns out that our confrontation is in that place.
So Lissa, you'll be aware of the nightmares that you have inflicted. Cyril, you will have the screaming shakes from that.
Yeah. But I do want to remember it because I have an idea for using that ruin move on it.
Okay. Let's take our break here. We will come back and have Ector call a scene. Sound good? Okay. So Ector, I want to give you a chance to call a scene.
Yeah.
Talk to somebody here. Do you want to go outside the facility? NPC, PC?
It's kind of I keep it. I'd like to keep it short because the only thing that makes sense right now is for him to be by himself.
Okay. So what is that like? You've got this now, this internal sense. You've taken this new move. Where do you go to meditate?
I think he's cleared space in his quarters. Basically, there used to be books everywhere, and now he's taken one of the rooms, or maybe just I think he's cleared out his whole quarters.
Okay.
Like he still has his bed there, he still has a couch, but otherwise he's like packing the books into crates. I think that's what he's doing right now. Because from before, at some point I have the move "You are all I have left," where I have a specter who can only be seen by me, who is, I think I decided that was my foster mother. So I'm basically carrying on a conversation with her about this new path I see for myself as being the caretaker of this place, the catacombs, I guess.
And she will look at you and she will say, "Are you going to pack me away?"
No, not unless you wish it. I would have you come with me if you can.
You have hid for a long time and then come back and hid again. That's how you survived. Do you think that is what you need to do? That you need to hide forever?
I think if somewhere out there beyond those portals, those gates, if there are more of our people out there, then they should have a place to come to where they can be safe and welcome.
And how will you make that place safe?
I will guard it. I will use what I have learned here. As it is now, it's abandoned. It will be safer with me there than without me there.
You'll be able to preserve it when Surreal and Lissa and the others go over the edge?
I have dealt with, we have dealt with many harbingers. I believe that if they cannot, these humans cannot handle it themselves, then well, they will perhaps have a way to call on me to, so I can help them if things go too dark.
You know, I'd always rather have you out in the world, but you do what you need to do. I raised you, but I know that I am not of your people.
Both these things are true, and I put more weight on the first than on the second.
That feels like a good place to cut.
Yeah.
Nice. Surreal, do we want to do another once around for scenes here?
I think I ought to make room for my honorary human status. You know, the one that
Right.
you know, has me deal with the public in some way.
Sure. So what is it that you get called to do?
I think it's as that school party is leaving, the teacher comes up to me at the end and says, I saw what you did, and you tried to blame little Lars. You know, that you should know better. And I think that is describe how a fan reaches out to you to remind you why your work for division is important, clear one condition. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, that you kind of get tattled on and kind of wraps your knuckles.
And this, you know, she's this on the edge of retirement.
Yes.
This graying haired lady.
1 week from retirement.
1 week from retirement. I wonder if she'll make it. Fine. Lovely. Thank you.
I like that. Anything else you want to do, Puckett?
I'd like to see Egther for a bit.
Okay.
If you're okay with that.
I think we
Absolutely.
could go down to see Egther. I mean, there's the crates are outside his rooms. And there's probably one of the division techs who is labeling things and sealing them and hauling them off.
Egther?
Lissa, welcome.
What's going on?
I'm packing up these books. I don't believe I need them anymore.
Why?
And this is when Egther realizes that what he's about to do, he hasn't talked to Lissa, and this is something that,
Anyone.
Yeah. I'm leaving. I'm leaving division. I'm leaving, well, this place.
You can do that?
I have been here for a long time, and apparently they deem my service sufficient.
Can I go with you?
If you wish, I doubt they could stop you.
I mean, there is that. I just, Ector, wherever you're going, I'll go with you, because it's not good to be alone. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Serial deserves it, but you don't.
I have been alone for more years than I can count.
Well,
I would not say no to your companionship.
and it's settled. And I'm going to stand up nice and straight, and I'm going to stick my hand out for a handshake and say, we're leaving division together.
I will take your hand and shake it. And I think, actually, I take your hand and shake it, and then I think I pull you in for a hug.
I mean, you've got to be like at least 2 or 3 heads taller than I am. So it's kind of ridiculous, because you pulling me in for a hug is like, my head is about your sternum, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just snuggle in and say, I've had enough of this place. I feel like it always brings out the worst in me, I don't know, maybe it's the coworkers, but here, I want to give you something. And I'm going to reach up my hand and I'm going to touch your cheek. And this is part of the which move is this? I think it's part of Chosen One. No, Blood of My Covenant.
Okay.
I am empowering you beyond your reckoning. I will mark 1 ruin to permanently grant them a new power of darkness that reflects an aspect of me.
Oof.
So there's leveling up on ruin. And also, I'm going to give you the power to create a star.
Oh my God.
Because as long as you have the ability to create a star, you'll always know where you are, and you can always follow it to find where you should be.
All right. So Egther, is there any other scene you want to call?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. Then you all will be called down several days later, after it had a little bit of downtime, to the briefing room, and Ms. Bariska will say, this next operation has been in the offing for a little bit, but it's taken time for us to get clearance on it. So how much do you know about England? And she'll say, here is our issue. After about 2 centuries of absence, there are reports of gentry, Fey activity in the United Kingdom, MI666 has insufficient resources to investigate, and M requests assistance. The company, that's the Gentry, contain multiple Harbinger-class threats. Any could be active. A door of power is the most likely explanation for their return. Prevent the exploitation ritual. Here is what we know, is that the Gentry, the Fae, are not the source of magic in Britain. In the area, they are in fact the cause of disappearance of magic. They are at heart dimensional leechers, exploiters. They steal magical capital to bring back to their own kingdoms, and essentially at the end of the late 18th century, they ran out of easily accessible magic and gave up on Britain as an uneconomical colony. But they're back. We don't have all of the details on this. As you may know, Britain is a somewhat diminished country. The cocaine hive empire has faded for it. And after a decade of austerity, it's not in great shape. Worries, less hope, little magic, as I understand it. One of the reasons that we haven't sent division operatives into Great Britain is because of the presence of MI666, but it is also a country that is famously anti-monster. Strong hostility to monsters, especially in a post-Brexit era. You will need to be on your guard while you are there, especially because the Fae don't appear or present themselves as monsters. They are in legends and old memories and memes and spells. They are the avatars of lost longing and hope for a golden era of the past. So those are the people you're going to be operating against potentially while you are the enemy. You'll be met by M in Great Britain. He will give you the briefing. He is the lead from MI666. We would like you to depart within the next couple of hours. Are there any questions?
The country that gave the world Boris Johnson is somehow afraid of monsters?
That is my understanding.
That's just ridiculous.
I mean, we have to be careful in mind, not all Fae are bad Fae. We've worked with the Fae before, Brisca. I mean, they can be reasoned with.
You have worked with incidental Fae. I know you have worked with at least one Fae within one of the establishments, but we have generally not engaged with the full might of the company. So be aware of that. There is a reason to believe that quite possibly some version of Oberion is present in this. And maybe an ally to Gazamak. So be cautious. If you are caught out there, there's not a lot we can do once you get in there. The British authorities are they've given permission for us to assist here, because I don't think they have the resources at hand to deal with this. So wheels up in 2 hours. Anything anybody does here? Is there like any montage or bits for preparing Suriel?
Yeah, I think I have to contact Titania, don't I? I mean, it just seems like a no-brainer. When you call upon the Fae liaison for help, tell the Keeper how much of a favor you're willing to offer the Fae in exchange on a scale of 1 to 3. The Keeper will describe a Fae creature and its power with the intensity equal to the scale of the roll. Of the favor, sorry, roll and add your level of favor, the level of favor you have promised. Yes. Yeah, I think that I want to call on Titania for aid, and I am prepared to offer. I think I'm prepared to offer a 2-point favor in return for their help. So as far as I can see, I roll +2, but you need to describe a Fae creature and its power with an intensity equal to the scale of the favor. How
do you call Titania?
I think it's about, there's a tiny bell it's out of place in my quarters, because my quarters is that, walls of telephone, of TVs and social media. And it's a kind of, it's what Suriel thinks is what a cool bachelor pad looks like, which means to say that there's too much black silk and leather.
Okay.
And but out of place is a ceramic model church with a little bell in the belfry that you can work.
So you will ring that, and there will be the swirl of dust and air, and then sparkles before Titania appears and says, "I thought I would be hearing from you."
I thought you thought you'd be hearing from me, Tanya. What's going on in the UK? It looks like there's kind of some weird stuff going down. And I'm because I'm aiming at one of those bullet points on the 8 to 10.
Sure. Let's we'll do that, and then we'll figure out what the favor is. Go ahead and roll.
So 2d6 plus 2 is a 9.
That is a 9.
Yeah, the Fae will give you 1 weapon, item, or secret that will help you face your next challenge. Because I just need the inside track on this one, Tanya, okay? We've been good to each other in the past. I'm happy to, scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Magical fracking.
Pardon me?
Magical fracking. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Keep in mind,
yeah.
I'm just a shareholder.
Thank you, Tanya. That's helping.
Shall I give you something to cover yourself while you are there? You may be beautiful and full of lies, but this is not a country that treats your kind well.
Yeah, you taught me to use Fae glamour, so I think I'm covered for that. It's that inside track I was interested in. And Tanya, I just want to be clear. You're just a shareholder. We're not talking here about, I'd hate for us to end up on the wrong side of this.
As would I.
Always great doing business with you, Tanya.
So what's the other action? Like you've got, if you chose it, you said you're offering 2, or do you want to do it? Do you want to lower it to a
Oh, I
1
see.
here?
So I've misunderstood that.
Yeah, you get 2.
Oh, I see. I bet. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it probably is. I think it reaches out and uses their magic to paint your memories in a new light, clear on condition.
Okay.
I think it is that sense of she can see that it's all getting a bit much for me. I'm not my usual kind of sparkling
Todd,
self.
you need to let go of those things. They're so fragile and they go away so quickly.
Yeah, well, that you're kind of a figment of mortal's imagination, Tanya. So it's easy for you to say that.
That is a scurrilous lie and rumor, but that's what I expect of you. So I would really, really, really like for you to tell me about these wards and protections that they have on Island 0.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not technical, you know that.
Oh yeah.
But I got a
And
sense of them.
I'm just curious.
Of course. And there's certainly a lot of it's not just technology. What I found very interesting was it was like technology and magic interfacing. They have a priestess out there.
Ooh.
That's weird.
And she will hang on your every word
as I describe everything I shouldn't.
Okay. Lissa, is there anything you're doing to preparation wise?
As Briska walks out of the briefing room, I run after her and say, Miss Briska.
Lissa.
So listen, I just wanted to let you know that this will be my last mission. I'm gonna take off with Edgar and keep him company while he does whatever it is he's doing. It'll be good for him to have a human around, I think.
And Edgar said that was okay?
Oh yeah. He actually seemed thrilled by it. Said he'd been alone for too long and he would welcome the company.
We have provided you assistance and help and training, but we can't keep you here.
That's funny. That's what Edgar said.
I hope that if you do leave, if you do go with Edgar, that if there are issues or there are problems, that you will come back to us so that we can assist.
Of course.
You are a force of terrible destruction wrapped up in human skin. And we just worry about that, as you can imagine.
I think that's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me.
That's not a great thing.
Funny, that's what my boyfriend said.
And she pauses because she kind of knows your background. Well, I will go and inform Division Central that is the status. And you'll be okay on this mission, though?
Of course.
Okay.
I'm not going to leave you hanging when there's an active mission. I mean, that's just rude.
All right. And she will nod.
And I will, for my part, run off to tell Edgar the happy news.
Edgar, are you surprised, pleased? What's your reaction when they apparently are willing to just let her go?
I'm pleased. Not sure if I'm surprised because Well, as I alluded to before, I think Egther views Lissa as having the power of a god, and by that, she's kind of a different order of being. It's like, of course, gods can do what they want. It's not like humans have any meaningful way to stop them. So if she wants to go, she's going to go.
Okay. So we are going to cut to you, unless there's something you want to do before you leave, Egther. Okay. To the you all going to the airport, getting loaded on a freight.
Oh, actually, sorry.
Yes.
I did think of one thing
Sure.
I want to do, because I think Egther assumes that he's not going back to Division after this mission. I think his plan is to as soon as the mission is done, he's going to take off.
Mhm.
Whether that happens or not, I don't know. Maybe there will be a final debrief
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
But,
We'll see if you're still alive at that point.
yeah. You know, but he's going to. I think he'll go around in the headquarters and visit the very few people he's had some kind of positive interactions with, and has at least somewhat friendly relationship with, and give them gifts. Nothing like fancy or anything like that, but it's like he's departing, and he wants to be generous to those he has been friendly with.
And I think George is the one who most like gets that this is final. He says, "Are you sure about this? Are you going to leave us a means to contact you?"
I will find some way for you to be able to get in touch if it's bad enough that you need me.
But it's having a chance to chat with you. You have such a breadth of experience, such a rich life.
Well, you will have to find someone else to learn from, or perhaps have some experiences of your own.
Well, take care, Egther. You will be missed.
I will remember you, and that's in the way that I will go on living long after you
Right.
are dead, sort of thing.
You will be dust, and I'll remember. Hey, remember that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
George, he was nice.
Yeah. So we do cut to that sort of late night flight. You will arrive at Heathrow. It takes a while. You get moved over to one of the freight ends of this massive airport. It like you unload. It's raining out. It's damp, and you will be loaded up on a vehicle and driven through the streets, and just about sort of the witching hour, you'll be dropped off at the capitalist mecca that is Piccadilly Circus. And it's damp and the drizzle is out, and we'll see the statue of Peter Pan there, and you will see this figure standing there by the statue, and you will see your contact M, and there's a picture of M in the NPC notes there. And you can see that as you go up that he's kind of fingering his collar. You can see that there are marks and runes on the underside of the shirt. They're clearly uncomfortable against his skin there. He's smoking And by that I mean literally like there's a little bit of a fumes kind of coming off of him as he's there. And so let me ask you this. How do you know Egther? There's a lot of people that say M is Merlin. How do you know that M is not Merlin?
Because I met Merlin, and this guy is definitely not him.
Okay. What was the real Merlin like?
Ooh, think he was too clever by half, and very. He always had 10 schemes going at once,
Mm-hmm.
and he was very keen on adventure. He was not the bookish sit at home kind of wizard.
Oh, okay.
He was out there.
He will greet you and he will say, "Oh, they sent the big guns, didn't they then? I'm M. Cyril, your reputation precedes you."
Well, that's very gratifying. And very pleased to be of any assistance we can, but we'll admit, slightly surprised to get the invitation.
Yeah. That is a thing. Let's go hit one of the clubs. Have a seat, get a drink if you want it, and just get ourselves settled in. So I can give you the skivvy on this. Out of the shadow of this asshole, and he chunks his thumb up at Peter Pan behind him.
And I will politely introduce Lissa.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there.
Yeah, I get that sometimes.
Oh.
Listen, can you tell me what a cheeky Nando's is? I've read about them, and I mean, it's food, right? I'd like to try it.
But he will take you over to a raucous queer bar, kind of moves you on into the back over the seats. He is hailed by a couple of people and he waves them off. He is even more frumpy once you get him into the light. The trench coat that he has on, you imagine he's had it on for decades, if not centuries. And he will sit down. So here's the thing. I'm MI666.
Well, we know you're in MI666, but
No, they kept cutting it back. I'm the only one who's left.
You're our support. Just you.
I'm your contact. The thing is, MI5 kept eating up the pie, kept taking pieces off until there's only a little bit left. We have some secondary facilities, some people that are on the payroll, but this is it. So I mean, that's austerity for you.
Cyril, should we just go back home and let the Fae do whatever so that this guy can get a budget again?
No. Look, the government wasn't particularly happy with me having to call division in, but they also recognize the threat that we're under. And I recognize the threat we're under, and that if this all goes pear-shaped, then it's me that gets the axe. And while they really can't fire me, there are some other things they can do. This is this is a dirty dog collar. So just understand they've got me on a leash. And the company, if they're back, they are here with full malfeasance and purpose and destruction in their hearts. So I'm kind of screwed either way.
So what evidence have you got that they're back?
So here's what I've got. And he'll kind of flip open this dirty notebook that kind of already, you can see the pen marks of bleeding at the edges. He says, we've had ritual murders at least 2 different abandoned mines. I'll give you the locations and some contact details from mine officials. So in case you want to check it out or talk or investigate there. We've also had a cluster of children reporting Fae sightings. We keep track of those kinds of things. Enough of them that it suggests a pattern. We also have one of our on-call associates, Black Annis. She says that she has evidence that the company has been stealing artifacts. Now, keep in mind, she's on our dole, so may want to engage with her with a certain degree of skepticism. We've seen other portents and signs, the usual for the Fae. We have 2 possible contacts besides Black Honest for you. We have a Fae exile, Mr. Dropsy. He's been here for a while. He got left behind, violated a tenant. So you might talk to him. We also have a Fae spy we captured in the 19th century that we've got locked up. They just call him the Changeling. He likely has some insight into company methods, means, that kind of thing. Here's the thing. Everything is within about 2 or 3 hours here of London. So that makes it a little easy. And here are your rail cards. And he will hand you a set of rail cards. So it's useful to travel by train. Back in the 19th century, I had them put some extra materials in the rails to help contain and ward against the company returning. But of course, privatization and everything did a number on that. So there's great big gaps, but it's still a useful and resilient thing. So you have to buy your own snacks, but the rail cards are yours.
I look incredulously at cereal.
It used to be a really nice place.
Yeah, it does.
When?
Yeah.
Like we have to buy our own snacks. We're not even getting meals. We have to travel by train. We're not getting driven places. There's no teleport access. What the hell?
Yep. This is England.
Who do I complain to about this?
So I'll give you my mobile number. You can contact me if you need to, but I'll be here in London. It's easier that way. So good luck.
At least we don't have to use payphones.
Thanks, Sam.
Yep. Just and kind of doesn't know what else to say, and does buy your round of drinks. But when he like he pulls out and he like counts out the change exactly to pay, and then puts just the most like minimal extra in there, and then we'll let you go. So this is a little bit different structure for a mystery, in that this is less sort of in a location and more a chance to go different places and explore and do things or follow up on leads that you make up or that kind of thing. So that's the approach to this. This is, by the way, that for those of you at home, this is the Company of Gentry is the name of the mystery. This is a stretch goal mystery written by Kieron Gilen. I think you can see some of the touches there in the descriptions.
Well, look, I think it makes a lot of sense for us to just split up and each go and investigate one of these clues. Because it's going to take us forever to cover the ground otherwise. Because, when he says everything's within 2 or 3 hours of London, that means by train it's a day's travel.
And let me guess, it's in all different directions. It's not like we're all going north.
He will have given us details of
Yeah.
Mr. Dropsy and Black Annas and the Changeling. So I'm guessing that if one of them's in London, maybe, Lissa, you'd like to take that one? See, a world city close up?
I've seen New York.
Yeah, but you spent a lot of time in Gothenburg, haven't you?
Yeah, but at least there's good music.
So is that what have we got locations for these three principal
Yeah,
interviewees?
absolutely.
I think I'd like to use my starting move, which I'm not sure if I've ever used.
Oh,
which is ashes to ashes. When you declare how the wisdom of your people may help in a situation, spend darkness tokens and roll.
you've used it once or twice. I think you got the power of darkness from it before.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I would like to use that because I believe my people have had dealings with.
Oh, absolutely.
With the Fae, and not just dwarves and dark elves and those sorts of
Wargar. Okay.
And of course, at this point, Bowie comes onto the jukebox.
Absolutely.
Ashes to ashes.
Yes.
Nice.
Funk to funky.
Yeah.
It's weird. I was thinking that song has been going through my head all week. I honestly have to tell you, that's so strange. All right. So how many tokens do you want to spend?
I'm spending 2 because that's what I have. So I get a 7. So I will spend bond with. I'll spend the bond with my foster mother. I think she's told me stories.
What is it that you want from this?
Yeah. I want to recall ancient knowledge. I will ask the keeper any question. They will answer it honestly and with great detail.
Okay.
And I think. I think what I'm most interested in are the mines, because they mentioned some abandoned mines. I don't know about Suriel's thing here with the magical fracking, but I want to know what the companies, why would they be interested in mines?
There is a whole set of the Gentry's laborers that are about mines and mining, and they are called knockers. And the reason that they are called knockers is because of the knocking in the mines. And so like if there is a passageway through or a gathering point or a labor thing for the lower orders of company workers, it might well be that. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, absolutely. And then I think I will recognize the signs of portent hanging over your fellow monsters. Each PC gains 1 darkness token.
Okay. Everybody
I
gains
think
darkness token.
I'm feeling a bit ill at ease that this is a dangerous situation we find ourselves in.
Let's take our second break. We'll take 5. We'll come back and we'll kind of get everybody a scene by the Apple. We'll do a little bit of transit and so on and get moving. So I'm going to stop the video. Pause. Let me say a couple of things on the meta level. One is we'll bring Aisling in next time. We'll fold her into this situation. Like if you want to go to Glastonbury or you want to go to Stonehenge or you want to go to the British Museum or any of that kind of stuff, those things are all out there as a quick, fast montage travel through. But Suriel, you want to split up, right? Where do you want to go?
Yeah, well, it's a big country.
Yeah.
You have to cover the ground.
Where do you go?
Well, I thought we could agree which of these leads we're interested in following.
Okay.
And if I've got this right, we've got ritual murders at mines, children reporting Fae sightings, Black Annis reports artifacts being stolen, the Fae exile Mr. Dropsy, and the Fae prisoner spy, the Changeling.
Yep.
So where are they? Would I think be a good place, or can we just say where they are?
They are within 2 or 3 hours in very different directions from one another outside London.
Fine. In which case, I think it would be cool if one of them was, if we associate each of them with a significant kind of landmark. So maybe one's at Stonehenge, one's in the Tower of London, or something. That I think would be fun.
Okay.
So I think Mr. Dropsy, I'd like to have a go at Mr. Dropsy.
Okay.
Who I think runs a fairly rundown secondhand clothing shop, stall in Portobello Market.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and has been since 1850 or whatever.
Absolutely. And Egther, where would you like to go?
I think I'd like to check out the mines, that thing, if it's possible.
Absolutely. They will put you in touch with a representative from essentially like a British mining person who will meet you on locations, kind of been told that you're some kind of assessor, like maybe from Scotland Yard or something, a special outside forensics person given the ritual murder things. They're playing on you being a very sort of they brought in a very specialty, Nordic detective. This is our Wallander we've brought in. So that'll be for that. And listen, what do you want to do?
I want to go talk to the kids.
Okay.
I think they'll respond very well to me, especially since I can do magic tricks.
That seems reasonable. So you will go and ride British Rail to get to these places. Some of you don't have to. Some of you have to go and take the underground, Suriel, to travel over there. Suriel, what beast do you know lives in the London Underground?
Oh, yeah, it's the dragon that George failed to kill but managed to bury.
It lies down there. I think you can feel its hot breath. You recognize it for what it is.
Yeah, when people
In
ride
there.
the tube and the window at the end of the carriage is open, you get that rush of warm air at certain times. That's nothing to do with the movement of the train.
Absolutely, it is. It is the breath of that dragon, and so you will travel to a Portobello Road. It has been done a little more upscale these days than it used to be. Uh, uh, but it still has its kind of legendary touristy status. Uh, there is a picture of Mr. Dropsy there. He is seated. His stall is, fairly large, such that he is comfortably in the back of it, and he will see you come in and recognizes you for what you are, I think.
Despite Tanya's disguise, which because the Fae, their sense of humor wants you to dress slightly out of time. So I turn up as a 1970s skinhead in a Union Jack t-shirt, which at least means that I'm not recognized as Cyril Gath, well-known social media star.
Punk is not dead.
Indeed not. Indeed not. At least not in Tanya's mind. And he knows who I am. I know who he is. And I explain, this isn't, no trouble. Just wanting a quiet word, Mr. Dropsy.
M sent word that I might be receiving a visitor from outside.
Out of town, certainly.
Out of town. And that you might be asking questions.
Yes. What do you know about what's going on at the minute? You ever get any contacts from the company? You ever, the Gentry, you ever drop by, say hi?
I we pride ourselves on romance and entanglement and such, but we're not actually allowed to fall in love, so they don't come around and visit me anymore.
Is that why you stayed?
That's why I was made to remain, though I suspect if they hadn't forced me, I would have at least stayed until he passed.
Okay. So it's been a tough 100 years or so.
Yes. So I am on the payroll for stuff. It used to be nice during the wars. Got a little extra money reporting on the Nibelungs and such as things go. But that's all dried up. A little stipend gets slivered down each year just a little bit more.
No inflation-based increases then?
No. The last time one of them came by to cut, they said, well, you're magic. You should be able to make it last longer.
Yeah. Oh, it's crushing, isn't it, Dropsy? Well, look, I'm just curious why all of a sudden the Gentry should just start popping up again.
I think you are grasping for keys.
I think I am. I'm going to spend 2 of my 3.
Okay.
I think at the moment. Oh, that's tough. That's a 12.
That is a 12. So let me look at the basic moves 12 here. So he says, very odd. They don't keep me in the loop, but they're clearly after something. What it is uncertain, but things come through my hand. And they appear to me in strange forms. And he will pull out a piece of paper, and you can see it's written as a little poem, and kind of glance at it and kind of, read the meter of it, and it seems like it's a nursery rhyme kind of thing, but it's a nursery rhyme about a cat running with scissors and cutting people's hands off, and like this is not one you've ever heard before. And he reaches it out and he says, "This was very difficult for me to get, but I will tell you that it came from," and he hands it to you, and then you'll hear a and the stall ceiling is gone, is shattered out. Bits of clothing are floating in the air. And you saw Mr. Dropsy shoot into the sky and vanish into the ether against his will.
Well, I wasn't expecting that. I mean, does this cause any kind of
yes, a huge amount of commotion. It looks like an explosion, and you'll see people running because it sounded like it might have been a bomb, and that immediately sets off the panic. What do? How do you get out of here?
I'm dressed as a skinhead.
Yes.
That's not a good thing to be
in the middle of a potential bomb site.
No, exactly. I think I'm not sure. I don't think I know. I wasn't expecting that to happen. I think I am torn between staying in disguise and falling into the logical kind of reveal myself and sort this all out.
Yes.
I think I will. I need to diminish my power and conform to the pressures of humanity and lose all my darkness tokens.
So
in order just to merge into the background,
dampen the spirit, have to dampen that light that you have even in this form, and kind of fall back into the crowd, and get into these people, and everybody's afraid, and everybody's looking around to make sure there's no other bags on the ground or anything like that. They're all super tense. The police are there within moments. You can see all of that they're going around. You hear them talking about get that CCTV footage, because this is the most surveilled city on earth. But you will fade back into the crowd and kind of vanish. I imagine that your disguise is sophisticated enough that there is sort of a slight transition of face and form.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've put a little picture in column S just to show how unlike surreal this looks.
Okay. Excellent. Let's come to Egther. Egther, you will be riding through England on the rails, and you pass through a town as you're riding along, and you're very sensitive to this, to the fall and decay of times. When you pass through this British town here, how do you know that it has seen better days? What is the sign as you pass by?
Hmm. I think uh, there are some buildings that are not abandoned, but in disuse. Like there's a big some sort of commercial building that's some of the windows are covered and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I think there's a general like sense of people being like the way they walk, they're kind of just keeping their heads down and trying to power through whatever is pushing down on them.
You will arrive, you'll be picked up at the train station by a driver from the energy company, and you'll be driven out to the mine site, and you will see a gentleman in a suit, in maybe in his 30s. He's kind of standing there uncomfortably. There's a mine person with him with the safety suit, vest, and the hat, and he will see the car pull up, and he will come over. Is it Lieutenant Egther? Is it Dr. Egther? I wasn't given the details. I'm sorry.
Ooh. Yes, Lieutenant will be fine.
Well, Lieutenant, we're very, very pleased to have you here, a consultant with this. I'm Quentin Winter Brown, and he'll reach out his hand and shake it. So, we're really hoping to be able to get this cleared up and get back into the mine as soon as possible, so we can proceed with our work. As you know, we are working here with taking old, disused British mines that have seen their better days, and going into those and using them to perhaps provide new resources and sources for various mining and energy operations. Some people use the term fracking. We don't like that term. It has a lot of negative connotations to it. But of course, and he's walking you along. And I think at one point, this surveyor guy who's with you will hand you a hard hat, and he hands Quentin Winter Brown a hard hat with the light on it. He looks distinctly uncomfortable in it, and he'll say, "So, yes, so you can imagine our dismay when we lost a surveyor in the mine." And the guy who's with you goes, "Lost? He was dismembered." But let's not go into details. So let's go down into the mine, and they will. It's that long part, and it's clearly this new company that got fancy signage up and things. They're clearly trying to reopen this place. You can see, partnering with the British government to make energy right for Britain. We're really since we're in a post-Brexit era, we've got to be looking at independence on all fronts for Britain. So energy independence is one of the pillars of that policy.
You find a lot of energy in these mines.
We're working to see what we can use to like which which sites have the most abundant. Maybe one of the things is in the years since these things were closed down, we developed all kinds of new techniques that can open and enrich them, and of course provide jobs. Oh yes, jobs. That's yes, jobs. So I'll take you down, and there's this long passage, elevator down, mine shaft, lights are up, clearly just reopened, and then he'll kind of stop, and he'll go, and just ahead is where it happened, up there at that crossroads. I don't want to contaminate the evidence, so why don't I wait here, and Brian here can follow up behind, just for safety's sake. And this guy gives, and he goes, let's go forward.
Rigther has put the hard hat on. He's quite enjoying like being in disguise, kind of like just playing along, and yeah.
You not only are in disguise, you are in the earth.
Yeah.
You are down in, I mean, this is a mine. You've gone down a ways to get to here. You feel very much at home here.
Yeah.
And he will take you to a place, and you can see they've got the outline for the body, and you can see it's, torso, outline of an arm, outline of a leg, head over here, and there's blood everywhere, and there are markings around on the walls, and symbols like that. I think this is an opportunity. I don't know if you have a particular move, or if you just want to do your grasp for keys here.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything specific for that. So yeah, I will grasp for keys. But I'm kind of only have one darkness token. I don't have any conditions to play into. Yeah, I think I just have to roll with a one.
Okay.
I don't get any darkness tokens when I'm all nice. And,
yeah, when you're all happy and things are going well.
That's a 4. I'm not going to fix that with bonds, so I just have to suck it up.
So that is a 4. So we could get the basic moves. So you may choose to mark ruin to uncover a key.
Yeah, of course, I have to do it. I mean, if I don't find the key, I'll get ruin anyway. So
yeah, exactly. So it makes sense to do that. So I'll talk about the fallout in just a second, but you will look around, and you will realize that the blood is laid out in a way that, to sort of the untrained eye, it has that look of like people have drawn ritual things and stuff. But what you will realize is that it's like a schematic of a ruin, of another place. Like it's an outline, like a kind of drawing of another location. Maybe have to cross-reference it somewhere else, but you can kind of see the pattern of it. And I think in your mind's eye, you can visualize that it's a schematic, maybe of another, like circle of stones or something elsewhere. Does that seem like a reasonable?
yeah.
And eventually Quentin Winter-Brown will go, is everything okay? Are you all set then?
Yes, I believe I have all I need. And this Egther has basically just gone in there, looked around for a bit, and he's done.
Perfect.
No, actually, oh wait, I
Yes.
should look around for the knockers to see if there are any of them around. Yeah. I think I want to look for traces of them. Or maybe that's just grasping for keys again. That feels kind of double dipping.
I think that he's like, oh, maybe I should think about that. And that is when all of the lights go out.
Nice.
And there is a rush of things past you. And you don't know what they were. Just like a river of creatures, beings, they rushed past you, came pushing past, and the screams were short. And I think then you're standing there like a little bit startled, and your flashlight, your torch comes back on, illuminates, and I think all you see are skeletons on the ground there. And that is a tick on our doomsday clock.
Well, I don't need to go looking for them then.
Yes. Let's come to Lissa. Lissa, you will take your rail pass and you will get on the train. And I think you're there for a bit, a couple of stops, changes, and someone drops a newspaper there, and you kind of look over. What is the headline on that newspaper that makes you feel unwelcome?
First of all, just the name of the paper alone makes me feel unwelcome.
Okay.
It's the Daily Mail.
Okay, that makes sense.
And there's something, it's some sort of fear-mongering FUD thing about immigrants and the harm they're doing to the UK economy, and they're the reason why grocery stores are empty right now. There would be enough food if it was just for the Brits.
And eventually you arrive in a town just outside of London, one of those kind of slightly upscale commuting line areas, the towns that have developed on the sort of the furthest ring of London there. What do you like? How have you presented this? Like, what do you think is your cover for this?
I don't really think I'm using a cover.
So how are you doing this? What are you doing?
I'm looking around for groups of kids playing.
Okay. We've been given the names of the kids that have been this, and so you want to try and track one of them down, or you just want to kind of catch the mood of the kids around in the area?
Let's catch the mood of the kids in the area, and then I'll try to, I'll ask if they know so and so.
So one of the things is, I think, as you come up, is that the kids are like, these are 10, 11, 12, 13-year-olds. They're actually outside and playing. and running around, and then you see them stop, and you hear them whispering some chants to one another, some nursery rhymes and things, and then that's a signal to play tag, and then they run off. Eventually, you'll catch one of them, and you'll ask about the Davies, and they say the twins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they used to come out and play. They told us all kinds of stories, but the parents have kept them in. They're not grounded, but I think they're grounded, if you know what I mean.
What kind of stories were they telling you?
Oh, they told us about all kinds of like uh Alice. Alice is she saw things. She saw the fairies around. And the adults don't believe.
But you do?
We know they're around and about. Isn't it nice? Isn't it wonderful? Everyone's been so upset and worried with all of the Europing and stuff, and now we're all going to be fine.
Why do you say that?
And then they run off.
I'll raise an eyebrow and go find the Davies house.
So yeah, this is a suburban house, a two-parent family. How do you approach? Are you going to sneak in? Are you presenting yourself at the front door? Like, how are you doing this?
I'm just going to walk right up to the front door and knock.
Okay. And after a bit, you'll see this woman opens the door, clearly the mother, and she says, can I help you?
Yes, somebody told me that this is the Davies house.
It is.
Excellent. I need to speak with Alice Davies.
And you are?
My name's Lyssa Starkweather.
And what is it you want with my daughter?
I study folklore, and I understand that she's had some relatively interesting stories lately.
So, I think that this is Unleash the Dark. You are trying to convince her to let you in.
Yeah. So let's see. I'll go ahead and spend 3 tokens. That's an 11.
That is an 11. I think there's that bit where she is talking and clearly doesn't want to let you in, doesn't want to have you talk to the daughter, and you're getting more and more frustrated. And I think that's the point at which, like, we hear the shattering of glass around you as your subconscious breaks the windows, the door bends, the door frame cracks, and this woman like staggers back, terrified, can see that you're something else, you're not human, and like gets out of your way.
Yeah, that's what happens when I let my angelic wings come out.
Yeah, I think you crack the floor for a bit as you walk through, and you will find Alice and Eleanor there. The mother's like, you won't hurt them, will you?
Your children.
That's not an answer.
I would never. I know I'm a monster, but there are still some things that are too monstrous to comprehend, to even conceive of. Your children will be, what is it you say, safe as houses? I mean, maybe this isn't the right context to use that as I look around at the shattered glass.
This shattered house there.
Your children will be safe with me.
So she stands by, terrified, as you talk to her daughters, who don't pay any mind to that. Alice is the more talkative of the two. She's very excited. You can see that she's like got various fairy books and things like that, and she's got a CD of Kate Bush's The Dreaming there, and she's there, and she's got some Bronte with her, and Eleanor's a little bit quieter, but every once in a while chimes in to affirm what her sister says about they moved like the air was alive. They were beautiful. They had poetry in their movements. They were wondrous. And then their sister goes, yes. And when they spoke, you could hear it was like the sky opened. They were so beautiful. Yes. And they kind of go on this kind of wild tale. Let's have you grasp for keys.
Okay. I will go ahead and spend my remaining 2 darkness tokens.
Okay.
Oh, that's a miss.
That is a miss. Do you want to? Of course you want to mark ruined.
Why wouldn't I want to mark ruined?
Right.
So let's see. Yeah, I think in this case, can I use my dark patron to help me out here?
Well, we resolved the rule. We resolved the move first before we do that.
So that's a miss.
Yeah.
How many ruin do you want me to mark?
You just mark the one right now. So let me give you the key. And let me find what that is. I think that you will see, like, as they're talking, you will see that they kind of tucked away, kind of hidden away, what looks like a children's picture book. You'll kind of, while they're talking, you'll kind of pull it out, and you'll see that images and pictures and things have been cut out from it, but it doesn't look like scissors did it. It doesn't look like a knife did it. Like something else cut these pieces, these bits out of this book. Okay. Collection of fairy tales and children's stories.
Okay.
And I think that there is a smell that you will smell, like it catches in the air, and like people here start gagging.
Kids included?
Kids included. And you'll kind of look outside, and there is in the wind this dark cloud it's as much smell as it is vision, and the sky smells like burning leaves, like harsh burning leaves. And when you catch a whiff of it and that is on your lips, Lissa, it tastes sweet like sugar. And that's another tick on the doom clock. Does that seem fair?
Yep.
Okay. And the doom clock is the hard move on that. So nothing happens to the kids or the parents except for the kind of hacking and gagging.
Okay.
Okay.
So how do I come closer to being a harbinger, though?
I think that whatever is happening with that smoke and that thing is a sign of destruction, and it tastes sweet on your lips.
Gotcha.
That is where we're going to stop for today. I think that's our point. We've got 3 keys in offing. This is a difficulty 8 mystery, just to tell you. We have 6 ticks possible on the doomsday clock. We've already filled in 2 of those.
Just to clarify, is the key for that one then the pictures removed from the
children's
book?
with pictures cut out with something other than a knife. So I would like to do a quick stars and wishes, if you don't mind, just so as we go into this last bit here. We have 2 sessions left. Suriel.
No, that's great fun. And of course, it is lovely to have this particular mystery because I think that Kieron's picked up on a lot of stuff that one would want to have more widely heard. God forbid we end up having to go to the NHS emergency department. But no, I thought it was great. I loved that Gary Oldman a la Slow Horses
Yes.
is him, and he's it. I love that.
Absolutely.
I love the kind of Thelma and Louise that Egther and Lissa are going to try to become. I don't think that they're going to let them go that easily, but that's just my cynical self. So yeah, no, I thought it was tremendous. Thank you.
Awesome. Anything wishes wise?
Oh no, that my own personal doom clock is ticking along quite nicely. Thank you very much.
There we go. Lissa.
That was a lot of fun. Alan, I really liked your debrief and how you just basically pushed Egther right in front of that bus. And and Lowell, this is a star for you too. I liked how Bariska pushed back on it. Andish, it's always fun. I'm going to miss Egther when this series is over, because I still think that there's something warm and decent and gentle inside him. I still have hope, even though Suriel's given up on everything. And this session really kind of hammered that home. Like, you just want to retreat from the world and go take care of the last resting place of your people. And it's like, bet, let's do it. So it was a lot of fun. A lot of good character generation, character exploration this time around. I appreciated it. Oh, and as usual, my wish is to become a harbinger by the end.
And Egther?
Yeah, just hope, Egther, you're not in the car when she drives it off the cliff. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. Much of what was said already. It's very the game has pushed me into an arc that's been very interesting for me, to go like veering very close to going off the edge, but then kind of naturally landing in a very positive place, and now we get to see if that actually gets to play out, or if things take another turn. That's that's a lot of fun. It's a star to the game, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
for that. Yeah, and lots of fun play today, but that's been mentioned already, so I won't belabor the point.
Okay.
I just want to mention it's Ballander, not Wallander.
Oh, but that's
But
how they
that's
said it on the
fine.
BBC series.
Yeah,
And we
well,
all know that the BBC pronunciation department is never wrong.
Yes,
They are sometimes mistaken, but they're never wrong.
they're never wrong.
yeah,
And they all have British accents up there, you know.
yeah. It's weird.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. I'm going to stop the recording.